If you are new to the Python language and you want to install and use it on your Mac, then this video is for you. Just head over to your browser and type this link, python.org, and you will see this website. And under downloads, you can see this download link. So as of now, the latest version is 3.11.3. So what you see might be different if you are watching this video in a later time. So let's click on it, and we have just installed the Python package. And if I just click on this, you will see the installer window here. So, and here you just need to keep clicking the continue button. All right, continue. So it wants me to agree with, so I will disagree for now. The reason is I already have it installed. Okay, I already have installed on my machine. I don't want to install it again. But once installed, you should see this kind of icons. All right. Let me show it again. It was quick. So this kind of icon, I just click on this icon. This idle, the idle. Let's get back to it. This idle is known as IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So it basically allows you to write Python applications. So there are so many different IDEs on the market, and idle is one of them, and it is coming with Python installation by default. And as you can see, I have by default 3.10.2 version, not 3.11, right? So I installed this Python long time ago, I can say. All right, so other way to check what version, what Python version I have on my Mac is using the terminal. So here on bottom you see the terminal. If I click on it, now I have my console. This terminal is known also as a console application. On Windows, it's known as command prompt window, right? So the other way I can open up this window, if you don't see on yours on the bottom, just make sure you can just come to Launchpad and type terminal here and click this icon. Either way, all right? So again, here we are back on my terminal, and so now let's see what Python version I have installed. So type Python space -- version. So you can see that it says 2.7.18. This is an old version. An old version that is coming with all Macs. All right. Unlike Windows, Mac is coming, all Macs are coming with this old version of Python. So what we are looking for is actually this version, right? Or whether we have installed any 3 versions, like Python 3 versions. So this means I need to actually type Python 3 instead, right? So now I can see it. Right? I can see Python 3.10.2, which is the latest version, Python versions I installed on my Mac. All right, so let's type a simple command. On idle, I can just type hello world and see here the output, and I can do the same thing here, but well, it won't work here, right? Because I'm not on shell yet. So I can turn my terminal into a shell, right? By typing Python 3. Now I am in shell, all right? Like the way this is. And for example, I can type the same Python statement and get the same output. All right, so like this up to you, like what kind of shell environment you want to use, but most likely you will end up writing your Python statements in a file. But let's first get back to our console here, okay? And you don't have to get back to the console. This is like coming by default. This is your shell environment, but what you can do here is clicking the new file under the file menu, and here now we are going to write our Python statement in a file, right? For example, I can say hello world. Let's put something else too. Let's say this is my first Python app. All right, So make sure you always save your file with Control S or here save. Now under documents, I can have a new folder saying my Python applications. Beginners most likely make the same mistakes. They just save it under documents or by whatever they have by default directory they have. Instead, try to be organized. So the way I do here, so I am now working on this under this directory. This directory also known as working directory. So this is my Python working directory. Let's save this file. I can just say my first app. All right. Here it says .py, so it will save this by default as .py file, and you can also see this file from here. Like you see here under documents and under my working directory, I have my file saved. And now under run menu, if I click run module, it will run here. It will display the output here. All right, let's make this like that. That's better. All right, so what's the other way of running this Python file? The other way is again using the terminal. Instead of running from idle or from IDE, any type of IDE, you can run it from terminal. This means you even don't need actually an idle or any IDE. So you can just type it in a text editor and run it from the terminal. So first, let me run this same file here, Python 3. Sorry. First, we need to get into our working directory. Right now, I'm not on my directory. Okay. Some beginners, they don't know this command. So CD will allow me to go the documents under documents, because documents is under my home directory right now, and under documents I have my the working directory here, Python, and now I'm under my working directory. ls command will allow you to see all your files here. All right, existing files. I have this file right now. So if I now type Python 3 my first, again, underscore app.py, I can also see this output displayed on this console. So I can now run this, open up this Sublime text editor. Sublime text is a very well-known editor, so I will use this for now. And where is my code? IDE. Okay, here. Let me just copy paste it here. So instead, you can just say second Python app. And I'm going to save this under same directory, and oh no, not this one, sorry, my Python applications, yes. And here I can just say my second app. All right, this is very important, like this part. Beginners make always the same mistake. You need to give an extension, all right, .py. The idle editor, the idle IDE by default allows us to save our Python file as .py. But when you are working on a text editor, whether it's a Notepad on Windows or on Sublime on Mac here, you need to also say .py, all right, so that it can be saved as a Python file. Here you go. Okay, so we can also see from its color that it looks like a Python file, right? So here now we can run this second application the way we run the first one. Here you go. So now we can display the output of the second application by running this Python 3 and then the file name. All right, I hope now you have a basic understanding of how you can install the Python language on your Mac and run a simple Python application. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in other videos.